Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another tutorial. So I recently had a request for chenille stitch and I thought that was a great idea. So I'm going to do this little how-to tutorial on doing chenille stitch, and we'll turn it into something later. But I just want you to get the stitch down because it's really fun. Alright, so chenille stitch is a version of tubular herringbone. So there's a video up of mine up that is all about herringbone, and there's tubular in there. So if you don't know tubular, you should go look at that or any other video on tubular herringbone, so that you're pretty well versed in tubular herringbone, because otherwise it might be frustrating because you have to learn this and then how to turn it into chenille stitch if you don't know how to do it. And it's you want to know the step-ups. So once you get this, you know it, and that way this will be easy. Okay, so I've got a size 10 beading needle. I've got some 8-pound fireline, little stop bead. I have two size 8 seed beads, different colors. They're kind of contrasty, so it's easy to see what I'm doing. So like with all herringbone, we're going to start out with ladder stitch. So take 4 of your one color. I'll put these up a little bit. Bring them down to the stop bead. Okay, and then go up the first 2. So that's the one closest to the stop bead and the next one. Just pull your thread through, just like this. This is what you have. Okay, then come down these 2 to complete the stitch. Okay, so do that again. Take 2 beads. You're coming out of the bottom here, come through the top of those 2, that top bead and the bottom bead, pull. Then to finish your stitch, come through. Do it again. Do it 6 times. Through. It's 4. 5. Let's put one more group on. Come on down to complete the stitch, and you have 6 rows of 2. Just like that. Okay? So then you want to turn this into a circle. So bring it around, like so. You can fold it in half or bring it around. And you want to come through the top. You're coming out of this bead, so you want to come through the top here. The bead, again, the bead that's closest to your stop bead, and come down those 2 beads right there. What that's going to do is going to bring around a loop, like so. It's going to hold the top 2 beads together. Then to complete the circle, come on through the bottom and watch what happens. So then you just tie this, pull those 2 together. Okay, so I'm just going to move my stop bead, and then I'm just going to move over a couple of rows or columns just to get away from my stop bead. And what you can do with this is you can either sew this tail in, or you can just, what I usually do with it is, because it's coming, it might get in the way, I like to just pull it through my through the hole there and just get it out of the way for the moment and decide what I'm going to do with it later. Okay, so there you go. So here we are. We've got our ladder stitch done, and we've got it into a circle. So we're just going to do some tubular herringbone. So pick up 2 beads. You're coming out of this bead, go through the next bead. Kind of pull those into place so they kind of come in a V shape. Then go up the next bead. Like so. Okay? Let's move over a little bit. You're coming out of this bead here. Take 2 beads. Come down the next blue bead. let those sit. It's a little clumsy at first. Then come up the next bead. So you're going down one, coming up one. So far nothing has changed from regular tubular herringbone. Pick up 2 beads. You're coming out of this blue bead right there. Come on down. Okay, get those into place. And now what you want to do at this point is you're at the end of your row, you want to step up. So if you see the thread, it's sort of going right across. You want to step up by going through the blue bead and that first bead that you put on. So now you're positioning your needle to go through, and I'll move that out, to go through the sort of silvery color beads. All right, so this is how it looks, okay? This is where we're going to change it up and turn it into chenille stitch. So far we're just tubular herringbone. So now, instead of picking up 2 beads, pick up 1 bead. 1 blue bead, come down the next silver bead, and that just goes into the place where 2 beads would normally go, and then up, so you're down 1 silver bead, up the next one to put your thread in place for the next bead. Pick up another blue bead, coming out of that silver bead, come down the next silver bead, put that into place, then up the next one. Okay, do that one more time. There are your 2 beads. You're coming out of this one, go down this one. Now you have to step up again. And your thread kind of tells you where to step up. See, so it wants to go this way. So you want to go through this bead, but you want to go through the blue one as well, because you want to get up to the top so you can put more beads on. So that's your first sort of chenille of stitch. Okay, so you're putting 1 bead where 2 would have been. All right, so now if you look at the top, and I find this the easiest way to do it, you've got 3 blue beads. So our next row is going to be silver. So we're going to take 2 silver and just go through the next blue bead. So we're doing regular herringbone again. So we're putting 2 beads on. Really not regular herringbone, we're just going through the blue beads. So just through the next blue bead, take 2 beads, go through the next blue bead right here, okay, and the silver bead. Pull those together, and that's what you have. Looks like a big mess right now, but it will straighten out and look beautiful, I promise. Okay, so now we're back. We've done the silver beads. We stepped up. So we're back at the area, this place to put our blue bead. So pick up 1 bead. So you're alternating between 1 and 2 beads. Come down the next silver bead, and then up the following silver bead. So you always want to get to the place where you have these 2 silver beads together to put a blue bead in between. So come down the next silver bead, then up the first silver bead of that next group of 2 silver beads. Okay, do that one more time. Blue bead, go down the silver bead, and now we're going to step up. So we want to go up the silver bead, right? Because we went down that silver bead, we want to go up the silver bead and the blue bead that we first put on. Okay, so there we have our 3 beads at the top again, see? And this is what it looks like. Not much yet, but you see how what happens is you get that little dot, you know, that little bead in between the other beads. So I have this blue bead in between the silver beads. Okay, so we're ready to put some more beads on. So take 2 silver beads, just go through the blue bead. This is the easy part, right? Take 2 silver beads, go through the next blue bead, take 2 silver beads, go through the next blue bead, and the silver bead to set yourself up for your next row. Okay, so then we're going to go back to the blue bead. So pick up a blue bead, down the next silver bead, just move this around a bit. So come on down the next silver bead, and then up the next silver bead. Okay, this might be an easier way to hold it. It's kind of difficult to hold it first. Take another blue bead, come down the next silver bead, and up the next silver bead. So you're just moving around to get to those silver beads, so you can put a blue bead in between them. Blue bead, come on down the silver bead, then up. Remember, we're going up the next silver bead, okay? And then you want to step up through the blue bead. And now you have your 3 blue beads at the top again, see? So it's starting to take shape a little bit. We'll do a couple more rows, and then I'm going to send you off on your own to get a little, a little length going. So right now we're just going to put 2 beads through each blue, between each blue bead. So pick up 2 beads, come through the blue bead, pick up 2 beads, come through the next blue bead, take 2 beads, come through the next blue bead, okay? And then you want to step up, so come on up, because you want to get between, you want to put a bead between these 2 silver beads, just come through a silver bead, okay? And then take a blue bead, come through the silver bead, like so, and then up the next silver bead, okay? Take a blue bead, through the silver bead, and come up through the next silver bead. Take a blue bead, down the next silver bead, and up the next silver bead, and step up. First come through the silver bead if you want, and then come through the next blue bead to step up for your next row. So you see now how the pattern is starting to emerge. Isn't it pretty? I think that's so cool. And I know it looks confusing, but once you're sitting and looking at it as you're doing it, you'll get it. So go off on your own for a little bit and get some length done, and then come back and I'll show you how to end it off. All right, see you in a few. Have fun. Okay, so we're back, and I'm coming to the point where I want to mimic the end, like here, okay? So I'm doing a row where, I'm ending on a row where I'm putting the 2 silver beads on. So I'm coming through the blue bead and then up. Remember to put beads in between that V right there. All right, so now instead of taking 1 bead of the blue beads, I'm going to take 2. And we're going to do a couple of rows of herringbone. So put on the 2. Those sit, come on up the silver bead. Okay, so we're going to put 2 more blue beads on. This part is again, it looks a little wonky at the end, but it will all come together. Okay, so we have 2 on, come up the next silver bead. See? Take 2 blue beads. Come on down. Okay, so we've got the blue beads on. Come up the silver bead and the blue bead. So we want to do 1 more row. See how it looks when you hold it? Isn't that pretty? I think that's so cool. Okay, so put 1 more row of blue on. So you're just going to come down like so. Come on up the next blue bead, 2 beads on, come on to just regular tubular again, and we're going to sort of turn it into ladder stitch. And come on up, like so, take 2 beads, come on down the next 2, the next stitch, then come up, you're at the end, come up 2 beads, okay? So here you have a wonky couple of columns at the end. Move these out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of reverse direction and go down. I'm going to sew these together. Up 2, down 2, up 2, down 2, up 2. Okay, so you're all sewed together at the top. You can go through that again, you know, just to make it nice and tight and make sure they're all together. So just, you know, go a few. I'm running out of thread, so I'm going to have to stop, but just, you know, go around till it you know, it straightens out, and this is going to make it look like the ladder stitch. Okay, so I'm just going to sort of come up these two and then I'll end it here. Okay, so I'm going to take that off, and here's our little chenille stitch. Cute. I'll come in close so you can see it. Take my hands out of the way and let you take a look. Pretty, isn't it? So it's a really nice alternative, or not alternative, it's a really nice sort of, you know, variation of tubular herringbone that makes it look like a completely different stitch. So once you learn tubular herringbone, look, you can go to chenille stitch and so many other stitches. So I hope that you were able to follow this, and I'm going to pull out a little now. I hope you were able to follow it. I hope that you will try it and not get frustrated. I know when I learned it, you know, it was really frustrating at first, but then, you know, once, it's just like with all bead weaving stitches, once you get it, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I got it. And it's an aha moment, right? Okay. All right, so there you go. There's your little chenille stitch. Practice, practice, and we'll see if we can come up with something. I'm thinking bangle. I mean, it looks like it could be a very cool bangle to me. But anyway, so until I come up with a great design for it, practice, 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 and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Subscribe. Join us on Facebook. Take care. Bye.